Hi everyone, how are you? So, how many of you, now be honest here, how many of you judge yourself or talk harshly to yourself about what you feel or think you haven't achieved in a day? Or when you wake up in the morning and you create the laundry list of activities that you need to do that day? How many of you actually, let's go. How many of you do that from a gentle space? I ask this question because I'm in this amazing group of amazing women and led by an amazing woman. And a lot of the women in the group are either setting up their own businesses or running businesses. And many of them are running businesses and parenting. And some of them are running businesses, parenting, and in work and in employment, paid employment. And some of them are running businesses, parenting, holding down a full-time paid employed job, and doing it all on their own. And I find that phenomenal. I am in awe, absolutely in awe of them. I can barely look after myself half the time. And it's just me, Well, there's me and Rob and the dogs, but there are no kids involved. And we're fortunate to have life set up the way we are. We have designed it that way. So I'm an absolute awe. And there was some dialogue in the group today, and somebody was really judging themselves, and I felt this just disheartened sense of, oh my goodness, it's like, not only, was she down on herself and we were all like, no, that's a pile of poo, but just it made me think about self-love again. And I thought, gosh, how many of us not design, but direct our lives in that way? And I think it creeps in subtly. So I know a lot. I know a lot about self-development. I've been consciously working on my own space for 20 years. I would say semi-consciously, I'm just trying to think how old I am now, 25 going on 30, probably not more like 30 years. I've been interested in self-development most of my life, but semi-consciously 25 to 30 years, and definitely consciously for 20 years. I know loads. And every single day, I still catch myself judging what I haven't done, judging what I think I should be doing. And it can be subliminal. And I just wanted to talk about it because I think it has a massive impact on what we create, how we create, if we create. Because alongside all of that, I've also noticed that I don't create, I don't manifest, I don't live a happy, healthy life if I'm not showing myself a good amount of love. My life goes so much easier, calmer, better, happier if I'm actually gently talking to myself the way I would a dear friend. And I think of some wonderful close women in my life. I would never dream of talking to them in the way that sometimes I hear that voice in my head. So I just think it's such oh, we've got an internet thing going on here. Hopefully we're still going. I just think it's such an important piece of the self-development puzzle is learning to love yourself. And actually, our own bodies, that's the only one we've got for this life. I mean, I deal in past lives, but actually the one I'm traveling in right now is this suit. It's right here, right now. And if I don't create the best relationship possible with this body, it's not going to last me the duration. And so we have to think about, would I talk to my best friend like that, or my close girlfriends, or the people I love the most in the world? No, we wouldn't dream of it. And sometimes for me, if I'm struggling, I have to flip the story around and go, what if such and such came to me with that dilemma? How would I deal with that? And then I get the answer on how to deal with it within my own space. And it's always from a place of compassion and love and gentle guidance. And that is definitely the backbone of my healing from cancer. There is no way I beat myself into submission and healed. Even saying that out loud sounds crazy, right? No, I had to find a place of compassion and deep self-love to create that level of healing to survive. It just wouldn't, I wouldn't be here today if I hated myself that much. Wouldn't be alive. Not with that level of disconnect on a body being level. And when I say level of disconnect, to cause that level of disease. Because when we have a disease like cancer, we are in a deep level of disconnect between our being and body. There is a lot that's gone wrong at that point, or gone off kilter at that point, for us to have manifested that disease. Now, that's the simple piece. It's always more complex than that, because there are so many threads that make up our well-being. But self-love is a deep cornerstone. And that first year that I came back from the States after I'd got the diagnosis and moved back in with family was extraordinarily emotional for me. I remember crying every day for that first year, not because I felt sorry for myself, but because there was that level of toxicity in my system that needed to come out. There was that level of self-hatred, for want of a better way of putting it, of disconnect within me that needed to be released from my body. And I see bodies as like sponges. So when you cry, it's like wringing the sponge out. You're getting rid of all that toxic waste to create a space where you can fill that with light and joy. And we talk about that a lot in the self-development world: joy, light, peace, etc. But we really need to experience it that deeply within ourselves before we start dishing it out on the rest of the planet. And I think a lot of us live in quite deep levels of disconnect on a daily basis. We we beat ourselves into being awake with alarms. We drag ourselves into our days. We expect massive amounts of activity out of our bodies, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, whatever. I'm sure there's another level I've missed out there. We expect a lot, and then we get really cross when things don't happen. And I'm not saying we all live like this, but I think there are elements of where all of us, however conscious we are, have lived like that at some level. And the really quick route back to connection is self-love. Find compassion for where you're at, wherever that is. Wherever that is, it's finding that compassion, and start with, what have I achieved to this point? What have I created? And this was some of the dialogue that was going on in this group. And I was thinking, and I was pointing out, I see you've done this and this and this. That's amazing. And I genuinely meant that. And that's how we have to treat ourselves. It got me thinking, where am I not validating myself for what I've created so far? Where am I not recognizing and loving myself? And this is one of the areas that we work on when we work on health, self-development and healing in my clairvoyant coaching healing sessions. When I work with someone, the first thing they do is they sit down in front of me. I close my eyes, I connect with them on spirit level. That's the vibration. And then I start looking for their essence. That's the light. That's the true self. That's the sense of just brightness inside. And I find that, and then I start to look at what's affecting that. And as we start to as I start to talk about the energy and we start to clear that out of the way, they start to feel that sense of light inside of them again. and falling in love with themselves, because that's ultimately what it is. It's that true connection with the divine. So if you're feeling a little off kilter or disconnected, you want some guidance, you want some insight, you want some help with healing, or there's some trauma that's sitting in your system that's blocking you, DM me the word psychic and let's book in for a clairvoyant coaching healing session. They are 75 minutes. You get a recorded video of your session. It's $199. And I host the recording for you, which is available for lifetime. And you can check it out at any time. So if you're interested, DM me the word psychic, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye.